Alright, let's see. Got stream is running.
Cool.
Awesome. I also made sure that the internet that I had could run this stream as well. I'll do my biggest up, what is it? Like upstream thing.
Yep.
So, yeah. Alright, so
Should be paused.
my headset is so confused. It's woogie
Looks
right now.
paused.
Alright.
I can't talk because the... Oh yeah, it's paused. It's paused.
Cool. Alright, loading into a chat, and then we can do our briefing. Alright. We are flying at Ramat David today for our second flight. This is our Saturday show. We'll be taking off runway... Shoot, 27? Question mark?
I think it's...
No, it'll be runway 18 and... No, that's wrong. I don't remember. It's not super relevant.
the marking says 1-1.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll take off runway. So we'll be straight out of the chocks. We'll cross over to my right side. And we will hold short of 1-1, at which point we will take off runway 11. We'll roll onto the runway and line up and wait runway 11 for the section takeoff maneuver. It's going to be show as booked. Right turnout out of the section breakout, out of the delta breakout, for a left pitch brake to land. Runway 29er, if reciprocal of 11. Let's see. Can't think of anything, any notes on my side before we move on to goals.
Yeah, notes for me. Give me as much room as you can on the taxi when you line up left, because I just barely have enough room between your wing and the noses of the diamond to get in position. And remember that the knee board is off by a factor of -5. Yep.
Cool.
All right, that's all.
All right, goals for the show. My goal is to try and get the distance behind crowd correct for the Fortis and the section breakout to make the turns back onto heading more predictable.
Yep, my goal is similar. It's line up for the inverted takeover roll, high alpha, and the delta breakout. Not going to stress too much about the loop break cross because everything was so out of whack.
Yeah.
Going into that, so.
Yeah. Second goal for me, secondary, is fly loose and safe until we're in the box. Perform.
Yep.
So take it in the box and just keep it nice and comfy outside.
Yep. Good call. Alrighty.
Alright, I'll switch inputs and we'll get in there.
Let's do it.
That was totally the wrong thing. BrotherLeb, it got me.
Yeah, loud and clear. Still putting on the headset.
Cool. Alright. Both of us. I didn't check. Got both of our audios. Good.
Okay. Oh, I did the thing. Well, having two screens did not fix that. Okay.
Oh, did you get the second one installed?
Yep, I did.
Is that
For
helping
the
with
help
your
of the
editing?
filming. Yep. Yeah, it is.
I'm sure it is.
Hold on, I gotta change my... There we go. This has got to be where it was for muscle memory.
Always, always, always.
Okay.
It's gonna screw me up, so let's just angle that. That's much better.
Hold on a second. I'm smelling something burning, and I want to go double check it's not actually burning.
Got it. That is the sound of a 4070 Ti burning away. Oh, that's not good.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about the delay.
Cool. Everything good?
Yep, we're good.
Alright,
Just lit some incense.
good.
Okay, I'm ready to go if you are.
I'm ready to unpause whenever you are.
I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Let me know when you are ready for startup.
We're ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine crank.
Lab.
Gosh, I keep forgetting to adjust the audio. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine forward.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine crank.
Lab.
Forgot to take your knee boards out from last time.
Oh, yeah, I did too, actually.
It's funny.
I have a whole bunch of knee boards, though, so I normally have to scroll through them anyway.
Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine forward.
Lab.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark.
Flight
Standby,
controls.
FCS.
Flight controls.
Go first, yes.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
In test. What are we doing here?
Chariot's FCS's go.
Lab FCS, go.
Sorry, I have my lights on.
It's alright.
I checked the other switches, just not that one.
Heh. So, here.
Chariot's IFA is holding DTC.
Same.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
It's a show. Shows are always fun.
I love shows. Chariot CTC complete.
I guess I don't have to have the waypoint in the DTC because it's in the mission. Oh well.
Correct. And it might actually make us off. But it was fine last time, so.
I'll use the mission waypoint. I don't have them on the same
Okay.
waypoint number. Yeah, they are slightly different. Interesting.
Yep. Chariot CTC complete.
Love DTC complete.
Chariot up, come one.
Up tree, come on.
Discord check.
Good check.
Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your structure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 150. Check your altimeter set. 2980 for a correct center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30 down to. Check your fuel seat arm lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are calm. Absolutely calm. Check your altimeter 2992 for a corrected altimeter of 2980 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet. And a density altitude of 268 feet above sea level. Chariot squawk 1205, left squawk 1206. You're clear to taxi right out of chocks for left onto, or for correction, hold short runway 11 for takeoff.
Thanks, Leb. Clear to taxi. Hold short 1-1.
Lab.
Souls were clear to take off. Check your parker pick is off. Chariot's powering up to 75%. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb go right wing.
Lab.
Chariot's coming right. Easy power idle. Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes, brakes. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your lights off. Check your landing light is off. Check your flaps are half minor auto. Check your waypoints correct in the box flying waypoint 1 at 0.7 miles. Check your altimeter set to barometric and set to 2980. Check your dispensers bypassing your seat is arm. Check your heading. My heading 195.
Lab.
Check your park brakes off. Chairs bring out to 70%. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb detach.
Lab is attached.
Coming left. Okay. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Oh, that's a problem. Use the parking brake. That is a throttle issue for BrotherLeb. Classic Windwing. He'll be back. Or not. Alright. It's a new one. Well, We'll get there eventually. So close.
Okay, I'm back. You hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sorry about that.
You good?
I'm good. I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna turn off my second monitor just in case. That's the only thing I can think of that's different. So.
Yeah, that does add some load.
Yep. Okay, what was I doing? Right, this. That dude who had the comment about the VRAM is probably losing his mind in the comments.
Well, the weird thing is, I'm guessing his comment was actually to me.
I mean, both of us probably have it maxed. I'm pushing it as hard as I reasonably can. But it doesn't seem to change the behavior of the graphics card, even if I have it at really low settings. Like when I had that crash on the deck of the carrier when I was doing the filming, I had nothing else running, no other programs, and it was on low, very low settings so that I could get the best performance I could get out of it for the track. And it still did it. So I have no idea why. It's like there's like some signal DCS sends to the card or something at some point that's just like, pull everything, and then Windows is like, nah. Okay, DTC's up, OBS, NDI bridge, launching DCS.
You still with me?
Yep, I'm here.
Cool.
Just waiting for the thing to load.
Just making sure.
Man, I was all ginned up to go.
I know, dude.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's a very bizarre feeling when it happens. Because it's not like the screen goes black, like a lights on black. Like, you know when it's black, but it's like, it's still, the screen is on. It's like, it's just completely dark. And the first time it happened, I was playing in a dark room And there was the first time it happened, it was during a power outage. First time I experienced something like it, where the power went out, and then I took the headset off, and because I had like the shades drawn and stuff, like in headset, out of headset, there's no difference. It was just like completely black. It's super disorienting. Okay, we're in sim. It's running. I will start a server. Same deal. All right, server should be starting.
Loading in. Check your switches again. Oh, yours don't change, mine do.
What do you have bound?
Flaps auto
Oh, right. Yep.
for the section.
I wasn't sure if you had something else bound.
No.
I've thought about binding smoke pressure or the smoke pressure on and some other things, but
Well, I don't have the cockpit for that, so.
I mean, I don't have an extra switch for it, but
No, I mean, I don't have the cockpit for it. Like, there's not a smoke pressure.
oh, I don't either. I fake it with the the switch for countermeasures down by your foot. Alrighty, I'm in a jet. I'm just gonna wait for assets to load for a minute.
Also in a jet, I have you, I have me, I have both of our audios, minimizing OBS and Discord. Alright, DCS is back in focus.
Let me know when you're ready for unpause.
I'm ready for unpause.
I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1. There's the pause button, and we're unpaused.
Get that mental reset going.
Yep. Boy, that fence doesn't do good things for anything.
No, it does not. Let me know when you're ready for startup.
Ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Leb.
3, 2, 1, mark, standby red engine crank.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark, standby right engine forward.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark, standby left engine crank.
Leb.
And we make RPM here real easily.
Yep.
Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark, standby left engine forward.
Leb.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark, standby FCS.
Flight controls.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark, in test.
In test. Oh, that's not right. I have my hook down for some reason. The switch is in the right spot.
Chariot's FCS's go.
Leb.
I thought you had a throttle malfunction.
No,
Instead
no,
of the, no, instead of the blackout.
Yep, yeah, no. I couldn't see anything.
Because you're just rolling, and that's what the
Yeah.
throttle malfunction looks like.
I brought the throttle back. It didn't matter.
No, you're
I could hear you transmitting, but I couldn't transmit back. It was very weird. Well, but when it happened in another situation, I don't know. Whatever. Whatever.
What ifs? Chariot's IFA is holding, DTC.
Love DTC.
Chariot's DTC complete.
Lab DTC complete.
Chariot's up, on 1.
Love up tree. Gone 1.
Discord check.
Good.
Good check. Takeoff checks. Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 150. Check your altimeter set 2980 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel wing 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat armed. Lights out. Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Good afternoon, Chariot. Update winds are column 00. Check your altimeter set 2992 for a corrected altimeter of 2980 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of 268 feet above sea level.
268.
Chariot squawk 1205, left squawk 1206. You're clear to taxi straight out of Chalk's right turn and then hold short runway 11 for takeoff.
Thanks, Lab. Cleared to taxi. Hold short runway 11. Solos were cleared to taxi. Check your parking brakes off. Chairs parking up to 75%. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb, go right wing. Chariot's coming right. Easy hard idle. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Takeoff checks. Check your lights off. Check your lights off. Check your flaps are half mine or auto. Check your waypoint is in the box, showing waypoint 1 at 0.6 miles. Check your altimeter set barometric and set 2980. Check your dispensers bypass and your seat is armed. Check your heading. My heading 195.
Lab.
Check. Park brake is off. Chairs parking up to 70%. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb detach.
That's attached.
Little brakes. Coming left. Okay.
Good so far.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Solos were clear for takeoff. Check your parking brakes off. Maneuver our section takeoff maneuver. Updated winds are calm. Check your parking brakes off. Let's throw them up.
Brakes off now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya.
Ready.
Cheers, sir.
Wings level smoke on. Blowers ready now. Smoke off. Clear.
Chariots clear. 2.0.
Let's clear 1.
Forgot the gear.
All good?
All good.
Three miles. And 4 miles.
11 on your beam.
Beam.
11 on take mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by market.
4 miles. Mark 3.
Half mile behind Chariots in for the right knife edge.
Left on the brake.
On the cone.
Left. 3 miles. Mark.
On time.
Two miles. Mark 395.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact smoke off. Ready, hit it.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariots clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 2 miles mark.
2.1. Man, this roll rate's hard to catch.
Yeah.
Left 315. 4 miles.
Let me know your beam.
A beam.
Let me know take a mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by market.
Four miles. Mark 3.
Chariots in for the left inverted.
I'll do the left third. Three miles. Mark 4.
Low.
2 miles. Mark 405.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on.
Roll right, roll
Contact
right,
looking good.
roll right, roll right. Roll right, roll
A little
right.
dry. Ready, hit it.
Clear.
Roll right,
Stand
roll
by,
right.
roll. And pull. 015.
Up.
Stand by, roll. Chariots clear, and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come left, hook's coming down. 365. 360. $350, ease more power, ease and some pull, rolling out some bank. 340, ease more power. Ease the pull, rolling out. 320, souls around the crowd, setting up the Fortis 0.5 wide.
Go altitude.
Check lane lights on. And we're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. Adding lots of power. We're left-hand turn for the Fortis. Chariots, get on flat behind, hook upwards up.
Let's get hooked down. Flat support up.
Ease in the pull, adding more power. Coming further left comes the pull. Easing power. Ease in the pull and roll. Now the Fortis charts rolling in.
Clear.
Online. On altitude. Center point. Chariots pushing out. Rolling out. Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Chair's clear, and clearing behind the crowd for the MRT at State 9-2.
Web state 8-8.
Alright. Chair circling 5 miles for the MRT. And chair's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, Mark 352. Three miles, Mark 349. 2 miles, Mark 350. 1.5 miles MRT. 1 mile, Mark 350. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry.
Flight control. Flight control.
Ease in the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out. 1200. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease the ball. Roll up. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing power 315. 330. 345. 360. Souls about the ground side of the opposing MRT.
Left to Chariot.
Chariot. Easing more power. Power set. Coming right. Comes the pull. Looking for 1905. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The opposing MRT 5 right. Easing power, a little pull, 2 level smoke on left lead.
A little low, a little wide. Easing power. Power set.
Smoke off.
Too slow.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Matt.
Numbers.
Lab. Connect.
I'll go for satellite lab.
Lab.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. 1, 2, 3, and roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chair's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.5 mark.
2.6.
Nice work.
At a 4 miles mark.
11 on your beam.
Leb's beam.
Let me know, take a break.
Go ahead, take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles, Mark 4.
Chariot's in for the left horizontal rolls.
Leb's in left horizontal.
On the clock clears.
Leb. 3 miles, Mark 403, working an angle. Two miles, Mark 399 online.
Online. Swag on.
Product.
Product. A little pull. Ready. Hit it.
All right, all
Clear.
right.
Burners. Pull. 80. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease in the pull and roll it out. 6.7.
7-8.
Sorry, 7.7.
Thank God.
Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak to vertical state 7.5.
Lab state 7-4. Fair.
Fair. Burp-a-dare.
Supposed to round up, but whatever.
Comes and goes. Oh, feels good. Let's keep it going. Keep these vibes rolling. Chariot circling 5 miles for sneak 2 verticals. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles, sneak 2 verticals on the runway.
Lab.
Four miles, mark 0.76.
On time.
3 miles, mark 0.3.
On time.
2 miles, mark 0.88 on the deck.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, mark 0.89, full burn.
Hold on.
Chariot 9.5.
Ready.
Roll it. Roll it. Pull. Roll.
Stand by. Roll.
Roll. 185. 285. Alright, we're shorted. That's
Let's clear
fine.
10,000 clouds. No factor.
That's a factor. High show, please.
High show.
Chariot cycling 3.5 for the solo loop.
Lab.
Chariot's turning 3.5 solo loop.
Let's clear 10.
Chariot. Two miles, mark smoke on. Wings level. Up. We go a little more pull, adding power, a little more pull, adding more power. Vertical 5, 6, easing power. Easing more power, a little ease. Comes the pull, a little more pull. Ease the pull, adding power. Go down the singer. Adding more power. That was way too low. We're slow now. That's fine. Smoke off. Chariot to dash. Chariot to dash, boss. Hello. Let me know when you're beam.
Beam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a break.
Go ticket.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles, mark 360.
Chariot's in for the right. 4 point.
I did right, 4 point.
That's the one.
3 miles, mark 395.
On time.
2 miles, mark 405.
On time. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact, smoke off. Ready, hit it. 1, 2,
All right,
3, 4.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch. 2.2 mark.
Match. Sorry about the delay clear there. I was so excited because I got my rolls right.
Dude, they came so fast.
4 miles, mark.
Let me know when you're beam.
A beam.
Let me know when take a mark.
Go ahead, take it.
Stand by, mark it. Oh, you know how that cool that feels, chat.
4 miles, mark 395.
Chariot's in for the left vertical pitch.
Other left.
50.
50. 2.5, mark 404.
On time.
2 miles, mark 4.
Smoke on.
Got it.
Connect. Add it up. Ready, hit it.
Pull up, pull up.
60. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 7-8.
7-8. Contact.
Contact, I'm a little low. 1.5, Mark 390.
On time.
1 mile, Mark 400.
On time.
Pull up,
Half mile, Mark 400. A little pull. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chariot's clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tug over roll.
Comment left. 380. Easing power.
Contact.
370. 365. 355. Adding a little power catch. 350. There's 350. Easing the pole and rolling out.
You'll have 2 lab.
Lab. Easy roll. Easy roll. So behind the crowd setting up the invert tickle roll.
Chariot got 2 lab.
Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. Adding a little power. A little more pull. Slows to the 90 for the inverted tug of a roll.
Chariot.
A little further left. And a little more pull. This will be quick. Ease in the pull. Rolling out pretty steep. Up we go. Easing some power. Ready. Hit it. Outboard.
Slow down.
All right.
A little drive. Ready. Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Inside.
Contact.
Ease the and rolling. Coming left 330. Little pull 350. Easing power 360. 370. A little more pull.
You got two up.
Left ease in the pull. Rolling out. Slows behind the guard, setting up section alpha.
Sure.
How's this section for that?
Sure.
Coming left, easing lots of power. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the boards. Boards. Roll out a little bank. Slows to the 90 for the section high alpha.
Chariot.
A little more pull. A little further left. A little more.
That was a safety.
Pull. For low. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. Easing some power. Stand by the boards. Board. We're canted outboard by 5. 200. Little pull. Easing more power.
Do what you need.
180. 2 miles. 170. Little pull. 160. 150. 145. 140. Pull into the set. Set net. Little power. Smoke on.
Center point. Knock it off.
Left. Pull in the 60. $60 coming left.
Chariot's breaking left.
Contact.
290. 310. 325, easing power. 330. Easing some pull, easing more power. 340. 350, easing more pull, rolling out a lot of bank. 360, easing power to hold.
You'll have to.
Chariot. Easing the pull, rolling out. Slows by the crowd, set up the section high alpha, half a mile in close.
Do what you need.
Chariot. This one's gonna be like the opposing MRT.
Left.
Chariot's adding power, and coming left comes the pull. We're at the 90 for this section breakout.
Left.
Easing the pull and rolling out. The section breakout over the runway. A little drive. 2 miles. Mark spoke on. Adding more power. 1.5 mark. 1 mile mark, easing a little power. Half mile mark, ready, hit it! Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Ease of the pull, rolling out, easing power. To hold 360.
Contact. Overshoot.
Delta's behind the crowd, setting up the Delta roll. Chariot 47.
Web 47.
Adding a little power, and coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull, a little more pull.
You got 6 plus.
Boss, adding a little more power. We're at the 90 for the Delta roll.
Bub.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Delta roll. Smoke on. Up we go. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling out. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull to level. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. We're in a left-hand turn for a flitterly.
Left.
Adding a little power. Smoke off. A little more pull. Easing a little power. Easing some pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. The flirtily easing lots of power. We're 30 fast. Up we go. A little more pull. Smoke on. Ready to break.
Ready to roll.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Got
Stand by, roll.
Cheers clear, coming right, and crossing in front of your nose at 480 mark. Easing lots of power.
Contact.
Adding power to hold 460. Coming further right, 450. A little pull. 455.
You'll have to.
Chariot. Smoke on. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Up we go. A little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Soak off. Go get him.
Clear.
Connect.
240 heading 29,000 or 29er 420 coming right.
Connect.
Further right
Connect.
comes the pole. 415. A little more pole. A little further right.
You got 6 spots.
Boss. Easing some pull. Rolling out to bank. We're gonna have to come back right, I think.
Do what you need.
Coming further right.
It's back right.
A
Thank
little
you.
pull. Rolling out. A little pull to level, adding power, 200 low. Adding a little more power, up we go, a little more pull.
Good job.
Vertical 562.
Clear retry.
Easy and a little power. Little pull, ready, brake, center.
That's what he was working at.
Oh, smoke off level. 0.5, Mark 410.
On time.
1 mile, Mark 402, turn low. 1.5, Mark 401, 1 low. 2 miles, Mark 401 online. 2.5, Mark 403, smoke. 3 miles, Mark up we go for G Mark. Vertical 5-2, 8 Alpha. Horizon now 80 powers up. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, rolling it. A little shallow. 3 miles mark. Leveling it. 2.5, Mark 410. Lost 200.
Straight 350.
1.5, Mark 398. 1 mile, Mark 400. 0.5, Mark 400. Smoke. Off. Clear.
Sure, sir. Jesus.
Come left, 380. 370. 350. Adding up the power to catch, 350.
Connect.
Little pull. We're just gonna keep this turn coming. And a little further left. And a little more pull. A
You got 6, boss.
Boss. The Delta is in a left-hand turn in front of the crowd for the Delta breakout. Right turn out.
Straight, right turn out.
Coming further left, easing power comes the pull. A little more pull. Smoke on. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. We're online. Ease in the pull. A little drive. And up we go. Ready, break. Set. Smoke off. Clear.
Chariot's clear, rolling out 023, 255 at 1750.
Contact.
270. 280, coming right. A little pull. 295. 305. 315. 325. 330. Delta right hand turn for the Delta left pitch break to land at runway 29er.
You'll have 6 plus.
Boss. Coming further right. A little more pull. Smoke on. Easing power. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Delta left. Pitch up, brake to land. A little drive. Adding power. Adding more power. We're at the numbers for left pitch to brake land.
Break.
Center point, boss braking.
Left.
Chariot's ease in the pull and rolling out 095.
Moves around 095.
Chariot's coming back right. And rolling out 120. Adding power, smoke off. Gear and flaps. Chariot's extending due to my mistake.
Left.
And Chariot's coming left. 290 leb. 280 leb. 260 leb. 240 leb. 220 leb, adding power. $220 leb. Overshoot. 200 leb, adding power. $180 leb. $170 leb. $160 leb. 140 all the way, Leb.
That's 140 all.
Sure, it's okay. Stagger left. Damn. After such a good
That's
show.
okay, stagger left. That's okay, Chariot.
Chariot, landing checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your tabs. Check your flaps auto. Check your land lights off. Reset your trim and safer seat.
Lab.
We'll go well clear on Lima for individual left 45s into chocks, wings up.
Lab.
Check your parking brake off. Stand by right solo clear onto Lima. Chariot's adding power up to 75%. Off brakes now. Chariot's easy power to 68. Land and roll. And come and rank it between trail.
Lab.
Stand by wings.
Lab.
Wings to hold in 3, 2, 1, mark. Wings to fold in 3, 2, 1, mark. We're coming left. We're coming further left. Chariot's coming left for parking. Mark. 150. Little brakes, easy. Brakes, little brakes, brakes. Damn it.
Lab.
Stand by for canopy and engines.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. That is a show.
Indeed.
Steve Ramat. BrotherLeb, you got me? Check your mute. BrotherLeb, you got me? BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yeah, loud clear.
Sweet.
Okay.
Alright. That was a show.
Was indeed. not a bad one either.
No, parts of that felt real good. Other parts of it felt less good.
That is very true. I can describe the entirety of that show with the difference between my clears for the 4-point and the oh shoot, what was it? It's one of the early maneuvers. It was just like complete and utter garbage.
And I can describe the scope of that show from the difference between my formation flying and my solo flying. My solo flying was pretty stinking impeccable today, and my formation flying was absolute trash. But, you know, it happens.
It does indeed.
Alright, let me know when you are set up and ready for a debrief.
Lab is ready.
Righty then. Let me get that rolling for you. And boop de boo. Alrighty. This was a show at Damascus. As far as major safeties, I had one. It was in the turn in for the section high alpha. I just didn't anticipate one of your calls and was in way too close. Even though I said I was going to fly loose and clear, did not do that, and almost ran into you. So that is a safety, a huge safety that I will fix for next time, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I had at least one, which is the clear for the section rejoin. I've been doing something different and trying to leave a little extra space outside of you so I don't have to do quite as involved of a rollover. But I keep putting myself in really weird spots and having to create, like, yeah. Last time I almost hit you, this time I was a big overshoot and kind of gotten conflicting flight path. I could tell it was developing, so I quickly bailed out. But yeah, definitely not the best there. So yeah, I'll fix my safeties, and I'm glad to be here.
All right. Sorry?
I'll fix my safeties, and I'm glad to be here.
Cool. All right. Time for the structure debrief. Starting from taxi. Both times we did it, the taxi felt good, and the roll onto the
hold
runway.
on. Goals?
Right. I failed both of mine. My setups behind the crowd were pretty bad. Both of them, I just didn't get the distance right. I was 0.5 wide for the Fortis and 0.5 tight for the section breakout. Both of them ended up being online maneuvers, so I'm happy with that, but still a failure there. And then I talked about my safety, so that's a failure for the formation flying as well.
Yeah, my objective was setups, and the setup for the inverted tuckover roll was a little too acute, and the setup for the section high alpha worked out, but it was a really long turn, and so definitely still doing improve there. The setup for the section breakout was wonderful, and so I will take a C on that.
All right. Taxis. Both of the taxis, both times we did them, felt good, as well as the rolls onto the runway. No further notes from me.
Yeah, taxi felt good.
All right. Dirty roll and takeoff. The jet just felt like it just wanted to just chill and take its time, and so I let it, and it was a really slow, lazy roll. It felt kind of cool, and so that was not unsafe. I was just flying the jet that was provided to me, and felt good. The one note I'll make is I forgot to put my gear up behind when I did the pull up behind crowd. So there was no hidden gear up there, and I have the potential to blow the gear off if I do that, but I was under speed this time, but that's still safety and I'll fix it for next time.
Yep, low transition was a little bit balloony compared to the last one, which was freaking sweet. But other than that, not too bad. I was pretty slow over the top, so I lost a lot of altitude, but I stayed in parameters, so no further notes.
Alright.
Oh, one note I would have is that I could use to like maybe unload or something so I can get a snappier roll at the end of it.
Cool. Opposing knife edge. I was 0.5 behind for this. Most of the way in and was still behind entering the box, so I ended up doing this maneuver at 440, and we still hit like 4 or 5 left. So that's on me. I need to make that work, and so I'll fix that for next time.
Yeah, you gave the call that you were behind, and so I slowed down. Then you gave the on-time call, so I just tried to keep. I was actually a little slow coming into the box, even so. So that's something I need to fix. I need to hit the numbers if I say I'm on them. Other than that, no notes. My clears were trash. That would be the other, I guess. That is still a note.
Alright, invert to inverted. This one felt good. I was a little wide from center point compared to where I want to be. But aside from that, the maneuver felt good. My clear was a little flat as well. Almost dipped below horizon, so it was a true flat turn. I like to have a touch of climb, especially here at Ramat David, where the trees and the power lines, I almost hit the power lines on the clear. So that's a safety, and I'll fix it for next time.
Little bobble in the roll to inverted and a little nose low in the second inverted. No further notes.
Fortis, as I mentioned earlier, set up 2.5 instead of 2 behind crowd. So that meant the turn was a little wonky, which is a bummer. But ended up getting us online at 2 miles. So still, it's a little bit close. I'd like to be lined up at like 2.2, just to give us more time in the maneuver itself. So I still need to fix that behind the crowd spacing to make that work. But I was able to get it online and at like 30 feet high, so realistically on parameters for that. So I was happy with that setup. And then my clears were golden on parameters as well, so no further notes.
Yeah, I did not anticipate the turn, and that you're back out of it, so I screwed up the hide the jet again. Other than that, let's see. A little out of plane on the rollout, a little low at center point, and a little wide in the clear. No further notes.
Minimum raised turn, I remember the note that I had from last time, which is that I was not hanging the jet on the tail for long enough. So I hung it for longer this time. That put me at 1200, but that seemed fine. I also tried to keep the jet flat rather than have the nose bobble back up on the push out. So I'll be interested to see whether that looks good from the crowd. Pull behind the crowd was good, no further notes.
I hit my numbers dead on, and I was way out ahead of you. So I think your MRT takes a lot longer at this site than I'm anticipating, and so I need to be like at least half a mile, if not more, further back than I think I do. Which is the note that I need to remember for next time, because it's fine. It just makes the rejoin for everything a little bit longer, and I'm like way out in like Timbuktu when we're smoke on, so it doesn't look great. No further notes.
Alright, opposing minimum raised turn. Turn around the crowd was fine, we're just 5 right. Had a little bit of power and altitude to fix before the handoff, which I got okay. At the handoff, like you said, you're a little bit wide, so I was bringing that in over the course of that. Make a lot more adjustments than I usually do coming into the box. So I was worried that I was going to throw off the maneuver itself, but aside from being a little bit far out from the from center point when we do the roll. Everything seemed fine. Rolls were much more on time than they were last time as well. Had to ease out a lot of pull coming into center point to keep the jet on the wing. So I think we crossed probably 2 left. But my clears were great. Very snappy roll to level, very snappy pull to 40, very snappy rolls, and hit my planes well in front of the crowd as well. So no further notes.
Yeah. Let's see here. There was so I was a little late into the rejoin, so I wasn't in the set. And then on your rollout, I think I had a misunderstanding of where straight and level, like wings level, that point was. So I thought we got there, and then you rolled out a little further, which looked like you turned into me, which you didn't. But that's what it felt like, and so I got a little spooked, and so I ended up being a little wide and a little slow, just getting in by the time you handed me lead. We were just about too slow over the crowd. And then honestly, I was like dead on the numbers and following a pretty good sight picture all the way around. I'm not quite sure why we crossed left. It was on me. I think I could kind of tell at like the 45 that I was a little faster than you. But looking at the tag view, like we're doing the same speed. So I guess it must be a factor of the geometry of the earlier turn. So I just need to fly what I'm seeing. But it was closer this time. So I definitely know that I can, and confirming that, like, okay, it felt like I was a little ahead, and turns out I was a little ahead. It means that I can actually believe what I'm seeing. No further notes. Oh, one further note. I'm sorry. I was high on the hit, so that's no further notes.
All right, horizontal rolls. Yeah, this one was good. Coming into the box and up the hill as well. I gave us a little bit longer on the tail so that we could actually bleed a little bit more speed and get some good whooshiness over the top. Ended up at 7.7, you ended up at 7.6, so I think that was pretty good. One note to make, I have known this for a while, and I keep forgetting to mention it, and it was confirmed to me via a couple of videos that I watched recently. Behind the crowd clears is for a flat show. That means clears like for the vertical pitch and the inverted to inverted.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I remember noting that felt like they only said it when they did a flat.
yep.
So interesting.
So
Okay.
I'm not
So behind
going.
the crowd clears means like instead of going up the hill, you go behind the crowd.
Yes. And it's sometimes
Cool.
used if they need to change something or someone has a problem as well. So I will not be saying that, and when I do say that, that means what it means. So
Yep. Yeah. I will try to remember. We've been doing that so long that.
I know.
But yeah, that's a good change.
Yep. So I'm just not going to say anything, and hopefully that'll mean something. All right. No further notes.
Yeah, I was a little low coming into the box, and just slightly nose low, wings level after the rolls. Up the hill, pretty solid. I slightly overshot 80, but everything else, I mean, we ended up at basically the same altitude on the same heading, so no further notes.
All right, sneak pass. This was a good one. Nice and on the deck by 2 miles. Got down to like 20 feet, which realistically, because there's the runway ascends from that side, it was lower. So yeah, my rolls were freaking amazing behind the crowd that nobody sees and they don't actually do. So yeah, it was great. No further notes.
Yeah, on time, cleared in front of crowd, but it was like on a 90-degree radial, or like on a yeah, directly in front of crowd, so that's good. Major note is that I was about 15 degrees nose low on the clear instead of being flat. So I was trying to figure out where I was oriented and didn't pay attention to my pitch ladder. So need to make sure to keep my wits about me, and I'm still aviating even when I'm navigating. No further notes.
Elaborate loop. This was good until the pole just didn't bring enough pull in, and I knew it early, but oftentimes I'll overpull this. So I was like, I'm just going to see what happens, and it ended up being low. We scraped by it at 150, and it's too low. Minimum altitude should be 200. I was 50 below that. That's a safety. I'll fix it for next time, but not like an Airshow because nobody flies that maneuver off of me onto the 4-point. This was great. I was on time all the way into the box. Hit all 4 of my numbers at an even cadence. And then my clear was awesome. This is probably the best 4-point I've ever done. No further notes.
Same. I'm really proud of myself for the setup because I could tell that I was going to be way earlier than I normally am coming in for that maneuver. So I did what I needed to do to make that work. Inbounds were good. 4-point was snappy. There was a little delay in the middle when I waited to cross center point, so it wasn't quite a hit, 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 hit. But all the same, it's pretty even cadence. Clears were great. No further notes.
All right, vertical pitch. Came in at 50. Almost didn't see you behind the cone, which is ideal. So that was nice. Went up the hill, came down. I was a little bit ahead, so I started calling the distances, and you were on, and I didn't see you behind the cone as we came back in. So that's great as well. Roll was good. Roll behind crowd was good. No further notes.
Yeah, honestly, the whole thing felt real good. I think I was just I added up just a little quicker or something, so I think the hit's going to be like 1 right. But everything else, I mean, like we were on altitude, we were in the right spot, we were doing the right speeds. Felt real good. No further notes.
Inverted tuckover. This is where I had my major safety as we were coming around the corner for this. Oh no, sorry, that was the other one. This one I did not have a major safety coming around the corner for this. I was having trouble spotting where the crowd was again. I think that's just a thing that happens here.
This site's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to find the center point half the time.
So when we rolled inverted, I think I ended up getting out ahead of you, and then I got behind you for the hit again, and also was extremely wide. So everything that happened last time happened this time as well, which sucks, and I will try and change it for next time. The clears were okay. I didn't spot you for a while, so it took me a while to get in for the section high alpha, but we'll talk about that later. No further notes.
Yeah, turned in just a little late and was carrying, I wasn't quite quick enough around the corner, so that meant that we had a pretty acute angle heading in towards like behind crowd towards center point. So definitely need to fix that for next time. Roll inverted was okay, little bobble. And then clear was honestly pretty good. I knew when I didn't see you where I expected to see you to where to look, and I was able to pick you up and then fly visually for the clear. So I'll be very curious to see what that looks like from crowd. No further notes. Actually, I'll just go straight into the high alpha since I lead that. Yeah, no further notes for that. High alpha, we were pretty wide. I could kind of tell it as we were coming behind crowd. And I don't have like, I've been finding when I do scouting shows at other sites, I've been finding like some sort of point of reference on the ground as like how far away from crowd to be to kind of shoot for when I'm right before I turn in. And I don't have one for the show site.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm all over the place, which is not helping those setups. So yeah, the turn was just slow and ponderous, so we rolled out really slow. And I think instead of like rolling harder and pulling more, we were like rolling out bank but pulling more, and so it was just probably really confusing to follow. We ended up getting more or less online, or 5 degrees outboard, and then it just like the jet. I think because I brought the boards in and then was also decreasing power, it was just real wobbly. for the next like quarter mile to half mile. But then we were able to get set, and it was pretty solid high alpha after that, and the clear was like really slow because I was pointed pretty like I don't think I got above 145 knots up the hill, so interesting to see what that looks like. But other than that, no further notes.
Yeah, I had my major safety, which I mentioned in the turn for this, and then just struggled to stay in a good position the whole way around. Once we rolled out level, I just kept going ahead of you. Like, I'd bring brakes in and then bring them out, and then, like, for some reason, it seemed like I was speeding up compared to you. So I, like, double checked that I was in idle, and so, chucked more brakes in, and, it was fine. I don't want you to do anything different. It's just that hasn't happened in a hot minute. Usually, if I brakes until I'm slower than you, I'll be slower than you, and that just wasn't happening today. um, but once we got to the set, I was able to get really stuck in by the time we went over center point. I thought about giving us an extra tenth of a mile just because it was so stuck in, but that would screw up the sight picture for the clear, so I didn't do it. My clear was pancake flat as far as watermark is concerned. Felt real good on that as well. And clear behind crowd was also good. Rejoin for the section. Rejoin for the Burn 270. The section rejoin. You're 1.5 behind crowd, so it's going to be a nasty turn. Ended up being a nasty turn, but fairly consistent throughout that maneuver. The rollout was fairly snappy because it was a nasty turn. But we rolled out about 2.2, so that gave us plenty of time to get on parameters by the time we got to center point. The pitch up was good, the rolls were cadenced well, and the pull behind crowd was good. Rollout was good. No further notes.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting it to be worse the turn because when I fly the opposing MRT, it feels worse than this. So this is actually more docile than I was anticipating, and so I almost flew into you because I was expecting a harder pull, but I made it work and it wasn't dangerous. I was still not quite set yet. Yeah, rollout on, let's see, so notes would be a little low on the wings level, a little high at the 1 mile, a little high at the half mile. And then that clear that I mentioned in my safeties was there's a big old overshoot in that. So fix that safety and I'm glad to be here.
Delta roll. I hit some sort of weird zen as we were coming left for this maneuver. For some reason, like, for the first time since the new FCS, everything that I wanted the jet to do just was happening. And so we rolled out behind crowd, a fairly level and flat rollout without a lot of adjustment on the y-axis. And we smoked on at 3 miles, and up we went at 2.5 at 360, and we started our roll at 340. And it was a really gentle start of the roll, progressing a little bit more. We were almost inverted by the time we hit Horizon, so that's why there was a little bit of pull at the end. But it was a very gentle rollout, just a little bit of pull to a little bit higher than level because the terrain climbs away from the crowd, from the field in front of crowd. My only note here would be that I didn't catch the 2 mile was coming up, so there's a little bit of a stop start when it comes to the turn for the fleur-de-lis. But aside from that, no further notes.
Yeah, I think this is proof that leads gotta fly smooth, but it also doesn't really matter. This was like way worse than the one that I did the other day when we flew the show. I was just struggling around the corner and was trying to calm myself down and get in position, and just couldn't get it locked in. And we went up the hill, and I was fine. Then you called your okay, and I climbed over your wing almost immediately. And then after that, I was just a little bit behind the power curve and a little bit wide for the rest of the maneuver. I managed to more or less stabilize out there, but it was probably half a jet wide and half a jet back. And then I had a little wing climb when we were pulling to level after the maneuver, and was pretty sloppy form flying in the turn. So plenty to fix there. Glad to be here.
Fleur-Lee, this turn felt pretty good. We ended up a little bit wide, a little bit far out from crowd for the rollout for this, and we were quite fast going up the hill. We ended up braking at about 420, and I overrolled on the brake, which separated us quite a bit. So I added some extra power. The roll to the knife edge and the pull were cadenced well, so I think that's going to look good on the replay. And I had enough overspeed to get by you in front of you this time, which was good. Maintained 460, which I called, so hopefully that was clear and easier than 440 was last time. As we were coming around, I noticed I was getting super low again, so I snuck in just a smidge more pull and a little bit of rollout before we eased the pull. Ended up easing the pull too much and too early, so we ended up crossing center point a good quarter mile away from center point. So that's probably going to look less cool to the crowd, but it was safe. We were also very fast, so had to push in a little bit more pull up the hill. I had us okay at 30 instead of 35 because I just thought that we were carrying a bag of knots and it was going to get us too high. So I okayed us early, and I think that actually worked out. It kept us from getting too high and too far away from the crowd, which should have allowed you to do the turn back for the loop break cross in the box. So I'll be curious to hear whether that happened. Aside from that, no further notes.
Yeah. So I mentioned the trouble with the form flying, but then I locked in and found like I got basically a beam going up the hill and was just like, don't break it, just like let it be. I don't know if I've ever been that abeam on that maneuver up the hill because it's just really hard to do. But I was right in there. And then frickin' I rolled to 60. I remember to roll to 60 and I nailed it. So bummer that you didn't, because I was really curious what that would look like when I actually hit my numbers and my ankles. Behind crowd, yeah, thanks for the speed and the keeping it pretty steady. I think I was just distrusting you or something. So it took me a while to get in all the same. I'm also just not confident that I could woe the jet up here, which you totally can. So I just need to remember that I've got what I need to do that. Yeah, so I was kind of more trail than slot once we were in front of crowd. And then I was able to keep it in okay over the top, but it's far from my best work in that regard. And then the rollout was okay. Looking at the angle that you gave me at the after the maneuver was done, we were actually pretty far away from crowd, pointed like away from crowd, and so that I looked back, I was like trying to find the field once we started the turn. I was like still over my shoulder, and so I remembered, oh, I didn't pull enough last time, but because we were pointed so far outboard, I actually had to ease out a bunch of pull and then bring in like a late stage correction because we broke the box by like a mile. I think we might have even been a mile and a half at one point. It was just very wide. So that was not ideal, and I just didn't identify what was going on early enough to do what needed to be done to fix it. So that was just my bad. Yeah, the loop break cross got weird. So I was 800 low and feeling good. We went up the hill, and I was like, I always underpull this, so pulled a little more aggressively, but tried to indicate it with my tone, and then just like blew right past 3.2 and was up to like 3.6. But I was like, I can't ease this, so I'll just let it be. But then just sort of subconsciously was probably easing it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I could hear you falling out, and I was like, oh, I must be easing this pull. But at that point, I was like, well, I can't change what I'm doing or like bring in more pull all of a sudden or try to arrest it because then I'll just completely lose him. So I just kind of held what I got, and then ended up nailing the center point, but it wasn't easy to follow, and it's like the most elliptical loop ever. Yeah, outbounds were a little hairy. I was a little low and kind of all over the place, and my comms were weird because I was trying to like communicate that I was a little out of parameters, but I don't know that that was helpful. So I think I'll just stick to numbers and speeds in the future. And then inbounds were, except for there was one point where I went from like 395 to 405. It was relatively smooth on the way in, and you nailed it. So no further notes.
Yeah, the region. So the release for from the Fleur-de-Lis was a good 3,000 higher than normal, so that's probably why we didn't end up getting the angles that we usually do. And the reason for that is there's that big freaking hill.
Yeah.
And I was like staring at it, and I'm like, I mean, I could give us another 2,000 feet down, but then he's gonna be like scraping the treetops coming around the corner, so I'm gonna bail us out now. So that's probably why we ended up where we were, and because of that, you were so high and in this big sweeping turn that the rejoin for me for that was very unorthodox. I was underneath you for quite a while. So that's very rare and also kind of a safety, to be honest. So, especially at this place. Also, I'll fix that for next time. I got in and was flying good form on you until we went up the hill. And you may have known that you don't usually bring in a pull. I didn't realize that, so I was way behind your pull curve as we went up the hill. And finally got caught up right about the time where you started subconsciously easing. And so, like, climbed over your wing and then just, like, got some PIO and just had to, like, fall way out and reset and come back in. And finally did get in by the time you started making adjustments over the top. And was able to keep it in position through those adjustments all the way up until the break, which was really flipping hard for some reason this time. It was like seconds away from me losing it again when you called break. And then you said center point, and I was like, oh, that's what he was trying to accomplish.
I promise you, on my mother's grave, when I got to vertical, I consciously did nothing. I
Okay.
remember thinking, coming over the top and staring, it's like, this might work out, but I was like, I'm not going to chase this. I'm just going to let it happen.
All right. You were
So
communicating things, so whether you were doing them or not.
I was communicating what I was doing, but I
Okay.
didn't, like, there was very little roll. I eased a little bit. I brought in a little bit of pull.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, outbounds were fine. I was a little bit high. I agree that it's not super useful to know anything but like the normal comms. It doesn't really affect uh, getting back to center point that much. I was able to catch your up we go and your G pulls, so I hit vertical and horizon right on time with you. I was a little bit fast on the ladder, but it ended up working out. When we pulled out, I was about 0.3 ahead. I was able to work that back, and your consistency on your inbounds meant that I could adjust to make the hit work pretty well. And the rejoin behind the crowd for the Delta breakout was one of my best.
Nice, yeah. It was a consistent turn, which I don't normally do, so I wasn't sure how that was going to affect you, but glad that it worked out. Yeah, so the Delta breakout, like I said, I did a just kind of a consistent turn. I could tell that we were going to cross my normal turn-in point right around the time where I would have normally rolled out, so I was like, we're just going to keep doing this. And it worked out pretty well. When I got to the 90, I was able to sight the field, and I remembered from watching the tape that I put a COM cart in the MIS file.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could see the cone. And because they've screwed up the spotting dots, the COM cart is this gigantic Minecraft block right behind it. And so then I could use that for parallax to line it up. So I didn't want, I flew the entire, like from the 90 on entirely visually. And just like nailed the lineup. So hopefully that looks good from the crowd because it's probably the best that's ever going to be, at least as far as the way it looks.
It's
The
almost like
note I
that's what
will,
they actually do.
yeah, I know, right? The note I will have is that I rolled slow on the brake and pulled a little hard. So, and I think we might have been a little slow, but we also aren't usually lined up that well. So looking at the TAC view, which isn't always the most accurate, we did our clear, like smoke off clear, like right over the runway, which is
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. Yeah. Near further notes.
Yeah, as I said, my rejoin was really, really smooth. It was really actually kind of nice to have that consistent turn rather than the squaring it off. It just made it really easy to scooch in, on plane. I ended up dropping a little bit low when you brought more turn in, but that's okay. Like, I didn't stress about it, just like made an adjustment and got back in. And then was in all the way around and had a pretty smooth rollout with you, and was very close line abreast. Had you in the right place, had your helmet in the right place in the canopy compared to the mountain behind you. And I think I was able to match your bank angle on rollout, based upon what you were saying on the radio. But I don't believe that I overpulled, so we might be a little bit off, but I'll be interested to see what it looks like. And the clear behind crowd is about 7 right of where it should be, but that's not the end of the world. Now for the pitch a break to land. I made a conscious decision coming into this show that my boss stuff was going to be as smooth as I could make it, but I was not going to consciously think about whether I was causing problems for you when I was flying lead, because I don't think that actually solves anything.
I agree.
So I just flew the most consistent and smooth lead that I could and did what I needed to do to get where I needed to go. And the Delta pitch break to land rollout was a good example of that. We were coming in and it was a pretty snappy rollout, but it was exactly what we needed to do to get there. My one comment on that would be I should have caught the fact that we were going to need drive earlier and not given the cadence that usually leads to your response, because you could have blocked me and not heard that there was drive, and then we would have had a collision. So that's a safety, and I'll fix it for next time. And another safety was I completely misread the D-board and did -10 to the crowd left heading, which meant that we were going back over the field. So I had to come back right to walk us back out. And walking us out as far as we did actually allowed me to more or less make the turn and not break crowd line too badly. Still had to come back a little bit and overshot a little bit. And then just really long in the groove. So that felt weird. And that meant that I didn't get a lot of my normal comms in, which I need to be disciplined about and get them in anyway, even when things break down, because that's part of the safety of the show. So I called left split on the ground. Not the most ideal time, but also not the end of the world either. And yeah, aside from all those notes, and I'll fix my safeties for that, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. My rejoin was I picked a bad heading. To try to grab a a really cool rejoin. So I was kind of chasing you in, and then I did a thing where I was like, oh, I should get up to the 3-9 line and then scooch in. And doing that at the end of the show while you're maneuvering is like not the time to like adjust the way you do your rejoins. So it just was a little sloppy and a little PIO-y to get in close. So I was loose for a while and just not in plane with you. But yeah, you were flying pretty consistent and I was able to get in. And then it's not necessarily my smoothest, but it wasn't anything you were doing. And I actually caught your rollout pretty well and the drive like that naturally comes in. Like I was anticipating drive because it always happens and I always screw it up. And so the way that it worked out, I was able to more or less keep it, pinned. So that was great. And it was similar to the fleur de lis. I just sort of, we rolled out wings level and I was like, oh, hey, we're fine. Don't do anything. Like, don't try and adjust. Just like live with what you have because it's great right now. And I was a little sucked. I was a little far back over the numbers, but I just sort of just scooched it forward, which is hard because the nose wants to climb if you add too much power.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to kind of get where I needed to be by the time you broke. And then, yeah, on the turn, I was like, we've been turning a while.
Me too.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was trying to remember the heading, and I was like, well, hold on. If we're 105, it should be about 115, at which point I'm watching the 100 degree mark go by. And then you're like rolling out 095, and I was like, oh no. But then you caught it, as I was worried you weren't going to catch it. I was like, oh, we're going to land on that runway we talked about last time. Which, looking at the geometry, that wouldn't have worked either, actually. Now that I
Nope.
think about it. We could have done, there's kind of a parallel runway to 095. I think it's runway 09, actually. But anyway, yeah, you made the adjustment, so that was all fine. The only thing I had is that once you like realized you were losing speed, and this isn't something that I think is your fault necessarily. I just didn't really know what to do with it because it wasn't a situation I'd been in before. We ended up picking up speed again. So we'd slowed down and we picked speed back up. So I was like, well, I don't want to like completely lose you. So I tried to pick up speed again, but then the jet just wanted to climb, and I was almost full stick forward to keep it from climbing at about 170 knots. And so that was annoying. So I ended up just sort of compromising and slowing down a little bit so I could get the darn nose to come down. But yeah, landing was good. A note on the taxi for me is that I waited to pull out of my to come and join you once you'd started making the turn, but just misjudged how quickly I would close with you so I could tuck in right behind you. So then I was just sort of on and off the power and off the brakes pretty much for the rest of the taxi. So it's not going to look as clean as I would like. But yeah, that's all I got. Glad to be here.
Yeah, the taxi for me was sloppy. Okay, it wasn't sloppy. It was actually pretty stinking good up until rolling into 150 and I just overshot. And so I'm bummed with myself. So that's why I called it sloppy.
I did the exact same thing.
But yeah.
But we did it in formation.
Yes, we did.
The correction is in formation.
I'll fix my safeties and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
All right.
Roger. 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 Stop caterwauling.
Time to go watch the replay. Your cats are cats now. They're not kittens.
Jesus, sleep, buddy. Cats, man.
Are they in their full teenage phase now? They're
He's got
like
this little fish toy, which we call his emotional support fish, because whenever he's feeling lonely, he like stupid cat, man. He's trying to sleep. He's
classic.
He's very cute. He's got his little fish, and he's like, I feel sad and lonely. No one's around. But it's also like, my dude. Shut the crap up.
We all feel lonely sometimes. Goodness, DCS, you could move on. It's not usually this slow to load a replay, so maybe that means it's broken.
Hopefully the replay's not. Oh no, you're good.
Zoom out. Not that much. Holy, what the? Pause.
I'll say. Whoa.
Not that much. Okay, let's go find it. What is it? What is it? What 1.8? What is it?
1.9 or 5.
1.9 or 5?
That'll probably actually occlude the section breakout or the delta breakout. Just so as you know.
But not right. Just looking at a bush. That's all. Just, looking at a bush. Oh, while I'm here. Oh, I already did that. 'Cause I'm a smart person.
Don't you love it when past you is smarter than present you?
It's actually the best. And it's actually what happens with humanity. Wisdom is learned and earned over time. Intelligence fades with age.
This is true. This is very true.
Hey, look, it's us.
Hey, buddy. Come on. Over here.
Ooh, yeah. Very nice turn.
Thank you. I got 2 shots at it, so.
Alright.
Is there like a full moon or something? Why are you so needy? You guys really need to get a pet.
I want one.
Wow, you're like fully inverted at like 300 feet with your gear extended. Just like, yeah, I could.
Not a problem. Oh yeah, you were slow.
It's this show site in particular. I think it's because it's so far south on this map, and I don't know what they do to maps where this happens. It feels different than anywhere else by like a long shot. Like, oh, there's a lot. Like every map, that like Marianas has a particular sort of mushiness to it. I can't remember. There's like one of them that's really snappy, but Syria, not all of them are snappy. Some of them are a little snappy, but this just feels like it's weird. Like it's weird in different ways.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll shut up.
No, I agree, dude. But at the same time, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Like, look how fast it rolls. It's just crazy. 40, so rolls that quickly.
Don't bite the hand that pets.
That was a Zazu thing. Or is
Zazie, you're right. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's so high. I didn't realize it was that high. Alright, there's a note for next time. Shoot. One of the things I think that the real guys... That's not bad. Yeah, right in there. I turned early. I remembered that from last time. They could probably see the other jet a lot earlier than we can.
yes.
It's like maybe a mile. And there's the stinking spotting dot thing now. Gotta wait for that to go away so you can actually see the damn thing. Yeah, I never hit the jet, but the rollout was alright.
Yeah, this is like on. I find.
Yeah, a little low soon. Not bad though. Just a hair wide, not too bad.
Yeah, I think I might have overrolled it just a smidge to start.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I have to kind of guess because if I'm going to make it look coordinated with you.
Well, what I mean, yeah. I'm trying to hit that 45.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I'm watching you, so I can't see it.
That's fair.
Oh, it looks great. Alrighty. It'll be, boy, I'm gonna have to be at like 2 or more miles. Yeah. Just coming real slow. As you can see, I was having some trouble. It was just me misunderstanding. My perception was off. I didn't realize it at the time. I got attacking his eyes. Nice. Yep.
Neutral rolls, baby.
Very nice.
Little overroll there.
Oh, actually, my rolls on that maneuver, I think my rollouts were not good. I don't think I mentioned that. Debrief.
Horizontal. Nice. Yeah.
That looked great. That looked really good.
There was some oneness with the jet tonight that I haven't felt since the new FCS. Just not when I was form flying.
That's because you have to be one with my jet.
Yeah. There you go. Very nice, very nice.
I don't know, man. You could tell it was like a 20 degrees nose down attitude there.
This. I went up at the right time. Noted.
Uh-huh. Oh, I talked to Coop, who made these liveries, and I was asking about, like, do you happen to know what the argument is to give the helmets back? He's like, no, I don't. I haven't really touched it in 3 years, so you probably know more than I do at this point. It's like, oh, okay. And yeah, earlier this week, or maybe last week, I don't know. Last. Oh, my cadence is basically the same. All right, 2 right though. Cool. Oh yes. Oh yes. Nice.
And you're
It's a good
delayed.
looking maneuver.
Just emphasize the sexiness.
Yeah, because you don't get there.
Yep.
You just sit on the knife edge for a little bit. I wonder if they actually do that to wait until it gets to about 5 degrees nose high, and then when they roll out, by the time they roll out, it'll be level. They might. I don't know. I don't know if they would do it on purpose, but I could see like a solo being like, "Oh, hey, if I do this, it just makes it easier for me." Nice lazy roll.
Yep. This whole maneuver felt lazier than usual.
It was very slow. Like I came over when I spotted you. You're just like on the horizon. It just like took forever to get back down.
Pull up, pull up.
One right to run right.
Consistent. And right on the smoke too. That's nice.
And now for my maneuver of the day.
Mine's coming. Have no fear.
Oh, good. I did spot the right, the right crowd.
All right.
See me chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just ahead, just high.
Dude, it's so close though. Oh, that looks good though. That looks freaking good.
If I just had a little.
Dude, that was pretty good.
Me do my safety here, right there.
It's hard to tell.
Yep, but it happened.
It's a good looking high alpha. Dang. Well done.
But I'll take it.
Nice.
Export.
Yeah, when it's slow. Because I'm trying to spot you, it's hard to get that like maneuver to be clean over the top. I think if I had peripheral vision, it wouldn't be as hard, but I don't. Nice. Dude, the back end of this show is looking okay. Not this though. It's like, we cool, we cool. 20 knot over speed, oh gosh.
20 knots.
It wasn't the speed, it was the flight path angle that I was concerned about.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't. I should have, but so there it is, and then I'm just out.
So smooth. Didn't have to worry about that tower this time.
You worry about those fighters. I'll worry about that tower.
Yep. Oh, dude, it looks so smooth. Was always the goal. For it to be stunning and beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Coop said that they're doing the VIAF this year.
Yes, they are.
Pretty exciting.
Yep, they got approved for.
I saw a picture. Go ahead. Yeah. I saw a picture of their Diamond 360 set. There you go. Nice. The Diamond 360 set looks tight. Like, I think they're probably Yankee. Like, it looks really good. I'm curious. I don't know if they'd ever cop to it, but I wonder if they have collision on it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because their objective is to make it look as good as possible.
And ours is to be able to do it anywhere and everywhere. At any time.
Yep.
With no mods.
Now, look, we're almost pointed directly away from the ground.
Yep.
That's not true. We're like 30 degrees. I didn't realize it until we got to where I thought the 90 was, and the field still over my shoulder. I was like, oh crud.
Gotta find my way back in. How tentative that formation was. Right over center point.
Don't always do that. So. And it wasn't a good profile to get there. It was better than the last one, but the last one was freaking hot trash.
Wubblamo. Right on center point. Let's go. Dude, you did freaking nail it.
196, yep. I mean, it helps to have ground references, to be honest. Like, that's what it was.
Pull. Still looks pretty stinking good. Until the smoke on. There we go. We were just coming in and I was point, it was fairly quick. There it is. Looks. Hey, you did lock in.
Yeah, there's like, picture's not moving. I'm not going to adjust anything. I hope nothing changes.
Next part.
Make it tell too.
It's but. Rainy.
I mean, I had a lot of time to make sure I was on speed on the way down.
Uh-huh.
So my sync rate was exactly 630 feet per minute.
Yep. Nice wing fold.
Yep. If we made a line with 4 and then he was in the line, we would be great.
Yeah, that would have been great. Didn't happen. All right. That's a show.
That's a show. Good
All right,
stuff,
folks. Thanks so much for joining us. It has been fun and real. We're going to cut it there tonight. We have some other stuff to do, and some jet lag to recover from. But thank you so much for joining us, and yeah, we look forward to seeing y'all at a later date. I'll likely have moved at that point. Thanks for joining us, Impersonator. And I wish you the best of luck trying to get your friend getting Discord to work before they try and get DCS to work for the first time. This may seem rude, but that is a good IQ check for DCS.
Yeah, because let me tell you, man, DCS is so fun, and what we did is like our favorite tonight is like our favorite thing in the world. But I would say half of the time I have spent quote unquote flying or playing DCS is fiddling with things about DCS to make it work.
Yep.
Easily half.
Yep. So, saddle up, get ready, and have fun. All right.
Yeah, let us know how it goes.
Yeah. See you later, Impersonator. Thank you so much for joining us.